Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the live stream here of the Banff Curling Club. Really pleased today to welcome our announcer for the week, Mike Libbus. I'll be joining him on the mic. Before we get going in the game, though, we want to make sure we do a land acknowledgement. The Banff Curling Club is located within the Treaty 7 region of southern Alberta. We acknowledge the deeply rooted history of this land, and we respect and are grateful to live, work, and curl on the traditional territories and home of the Nakota Nations. That's Bearspaw, Wesley, and Chiniki. The Blackfoot Confederacy, the Siksika, Kainai, and Piikani, and the Tsuut'ina Nation, and the Region 3 Métis Nation. So welcome to our first game. We have Team Cooey, that's Jamie Cooey, playing against Team Libbus. And Mike, why don't you give us a bit of a feel for what we can expect during the game?
Well, thanks for having me, Steve. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Get away from Okotoks for a few days. We're in for a good game here to start. We got Team Libbus, young team out of Alberta. Of course, the name matches my name, so I'm related to the guy. So, young team, and they're playing against a veteran from the men's scene, Jamie Cooey, all the way in from the Northwest Territories. Should be in for a great match. I know Team Libbus came up here this afternoon. They finished up some exams at school and rushed out here so they could play your event. Steve, they're looking forward to it.
Well, we always love having them here. They're just a great young team, as you say, and I think the future's bright for them.
Yeah, so far they're starting a little open through the first rock in the rings, and we've hit a few times trying to bank some time here, and then they end up putting up the center guard this time, so we'll see what Jamie Cooey does on this. How many teams did you end up with, Steve?
We have 12 teams. And, we were hoping to maybe get a few more, but 12 is still good this time of year. Like you say, there's exams and other priorities for people. But what I really like about this, we've got some really good teams over from Saskatchewan, people that we don't normally always see. And we've also got almost a prelude to the upcoming provincial tournament that'll be happening in Grand Prairie here.
You got some great ones. Team Cooey. I know we're going to see Conshu up there. We're going to see Van Amsterdam. All those teams are trying to get ready for the provincials in a few weeks, which will be in Grand Prairie, and I'll be up there myself.
That's awesome, Mike. You must be up there doing ice, are you?
Yeah, definitely not playing, Steve. So.
Well, you never know. You are of that caliber, I must say.
Whoa. I'm here already, okay? You don't have to butter me up anymore. No, I'll be up there for about 14 days, heading up on the 27th to put the ice in Grand Prairie for the men's and ladies provincials. So it's going to be a busy holiday season here. Also have Team Sturmey out on sheet 2 as well. And like you said, we got a team out of Saskatchewan. How do you say their name? Is it Dees?
Diaz.
And
if it's not, that's what we just made it.
Well, you can say whatever you want. No one's going to know the difference because they're not on the stream, so their fans aren't watching. But there's a little connection with that Diaz team. Their second is Dustin McCush, former member of the University of Alberta team, played on the U20 team back a few years ago, and actually played with my son Jacob for a couple of years.
That's right. Well, he's been to a U18 championship. He's been to a U21 championship, and great curler. I think he went back home to Saskatchewan, and he's, obviously hooked on with a good team. And I think you have their ranking there. They're not doing that bad.
No, they're actually pretty good. They're hosting that U30 or Best of the West championship out in Saskatchewan this year that I know Dustin's been responsible for putting that together. They're the 73rd ranked team in the world. So they're no slouches for sure. Now, of course, we had the top 4 ranked teams get a bye through the first round, and they're going to start this evening in the second draw. And, of course, that's Kevin Cooey out of Alberta and John Epping out of Ontario, I believe. Colton Flash. And who's our fourth one? Team Hardy is the next team that gets a bye to the second round, I believe. So
McEwen.
Oh, McEwen.
And Epping.
That's right. I forgot McEwen's here. That's like a slam, this event. Well, yeah, looks like we had a couple rollouts here, Steve, in our feature game. Poor Steve's trying to do the camera work and talk at the same time, so bear with him. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I don't think he's ever worked the camera, so God knows what you're going to see this game.
I'm just getting it going here. It just takes you a few few times, but here we go. I've got their heads this time.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, at least
know.
we're seeing something. Steve, I'm just going to warn you, nobody tunes in to listen to me talk, okay? So you got to show some of the game.
Yeah, Mike, I'm telling you, it's going to be it'll just be an end or so. We'll get this going. Don't worry.
Oh, God. Oh, the ice looks beautiful here as usual at Banff. I see you got some new lights in.
Yeah, we did actually. Really nice lights, too.
That's exciting, Steve.
They make it bright.
See, usually at our stream back at Okotoks, it's the Mike and Wade show, and in Banff, it's always the Mike and Steve show.
That's right. We're going back to our roots here.
Wade and I don't touch any of the technical equipment, just to let you know, Steve. We stay away from it. If we didn't have a cameraman, we just would stream the game.
You know what? I'm just going to focus for a moment out here, Mike, before we watch the game. On this gentleman right here, can you tell us who that is?
Mickey Pendergast is out skipping Team Libbus. 3-time Alberta Masters champion and 2-time Canadian Masters champion. And coach normally of Team Libbus, but he's laced up the shoes to play this weekend for sure. And it's kind of by design. We're going to try and get Mickey out there a little bit more to just try and move fast forward the development of this young team. Right now they seem to be getting a little bit out-strategized from some of the other veterans out here. So that won't happen with Mickey on the ice for sure. Although he just sailed his draw through the house, so he won't be happy. Team Cooey has a chance to get a kind of out of nowhere deuce here now with a corner guard. Oh, great swing on the ice. That rock is completely buried behind that corner. Jamie Cooey has third Glenn Kennedy playing for him this year. Figure things out there, Steve, yet? Or
yeah, we're about to get going here. Here we go.
And I see we've added a telestrator to the show this year. Like, this is big time.
We have, Mike. I can't wait till I can get you a camera shot so you can actually draw something in. See my strategy here? I'm pulling out a little bit to start so that I can maybe catch up to the play.
You're getting better. Well, you got a great shot of the beautiful facility anyway.
We do. We got all 4 rocks going here, all 4 sheets.
Yeah, we'll give you some updates as the game go along here of what's going on the other sheets. We won't ask Steve to zoom over there and show any part of the games, but
not for a moment here. So, Mike.
So Glenn Kennedy made a great come around the corner. Now Jacob's going to try and freeze down on top of the yellow. We're going to assume he made the shot. Or close, or somewhere in that area. Yeah, made a perfect shot. Corner froze to that yellow.
I'm going to put my glasses on, Mike.
Oh, that would help. That would help.
Well, the good news is...
I think everybody at home's thinking they got to put their glasses on because they can't believe what they're seeing here.
They gave me one camera to work with, Mike. I broke it. So, so
okay,
now
good.
If they give me the other camera, I might be able to, jury rig this around. But at least now you're going to see what's in the house, and you might be able to telestrate that,
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a corner guard up front about halfway, yellow stone, and then Glenn Kennedy made the come around with the blue stone, or with the yellow, and then Jacob Libbus made a perfect freeze on top just to try and negate that yellow a little bit. But Jamie's going to try and come down and tap it a foot, change the angles. Sweepers are going hard on this one. Really important to get shot on this one, Steve.
It's going to short coming
Looks
in
a little
here.
light here. Yeah, just a little light on that one. So now Team Libbus has a chance to split the rings and force Team Cooey to take their one.
There's a good picture of it, Mike. Maybe draw something to show that telestrator just so people know what you're talking about.
Okay, so what
Where are they going?
We're going to try this telestrator here. Wait, I got to make sure I get the right color. So they're going to play an out-turn come around just to the side of the button here.
I can see it.
that there won't be any deuces.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We'll get into the telestrator as the game gets more complex here, Steve.
Sure, I'm going to try and follow this
right now,
down,
a
Mike.
straight draw to the button is really not that difficult. But the key to this shot, actually, they're playing their draw path. So Team Libbus played this exact draw path to try and win the hammer in the first end and put it on the side of the button, so they should know the speed here. Sweepers are going a little hard on this one. Hey, there we got some sound.
That's sound. We got camera work in here, Mike.
Well, it's been a little while since you guys did the streaming, so. Did that get second shot there, Steve? It did.
Did. It's some good camera work.
Great job. So they might try and take on the double here. I was going to give you some.
Okay,
I was going to give you some telestrator work there, Steve.
Let's get some telestrator work. Here we go.
There's a conversation going on, so they might look at taking this double on.
Would that second one jam though, Mike? You think?
It might, but they're trying to hit to the back of the rings and maybe push it out sideways and score the two, lose the shooter. But I don't think it's a very smart shot in the first end. You don't want to give up a steal here. But they are playing the hit, so trying to hit and roll in for one. And I think they probably have to roll into the yellow since their nose hit doesn't give them shot. Didn't really hear a weight call on this. And they're going hard to try and get the roll here. Can't nose hit it. Well, did we nose hit it? Looks like they did nose hit it, so that'll be a steal of one for Team Libbus. So, two great shots there by the Skips. Made a corner freeze and drew top eight. And kind of an unexpected steal there, Steve.
Yeah, but again, like you say, two good shots at the back end, and it just shows you if you play well there, you can make up for some things.
So let's see what else we got going on out here during this game. So over on sheet one, we've got Team Hardy versus Team Conchu. They'll see each other again at men's provincials in a few weeks. On sheet two, we have Clyder versus Sturmey. So a team out of Saskatchewan. And I think Pat Simmons plays on the Clyder team normally, but I don't think he's here this weekend. I think they're a five-man roster, so.
They are actually, and one was forced into school, so they weren't able to be here. Steve Laycock is their...
Steve Laycock is their extra guy. That's correct. But
and he is here playing.
He is. They brought in some veteran presence for a young team as well, but a great young team out of Saskatchewan. So they're trying to make it to the Brier this year. They got to go past teams like Dunstone, but Steve Laycock on the team will help a lot for sure. And then over on sheet four, we have Team Van Amsterdam versus Team Diaz. Well, after stealing the first end, you've seen Team Libbus throw the first rock in the rings. Over-curled a little bit, so Team Cooey's going to run up and throw a corner guard here. Stay aggressive.
Having Libbus out there sweeping, I mean, he's no slouch to that. He's obviously played at a high level, playing second. And
well, he's played second for your son when they went to a national championship a few years back.
Yeah, we got to see most of that shot.
You're doing a hell of a job over there.
Just settling in here.
You know what we need to see here? Zaxby, we need to see the comments somewhere on the screen. So I can, I want to hear everybody's opinion on our camera work for sure.
Well, we hope to improve it as the week goes on with the proper camera people. But for now...
like, how many viewers are we up to now? Got to be up to about 500-600 now, eh? 90. 96? Wow. That's like 95 more than we get at our stream at Okotoks.
You know, it was a few hundred, Mike, I think, until the
The camera
until the camera worked. People thought they better off listening to it on the radio.
Well, normally I tell them if they don't like what I'm saying, they can just mute their TVs, but they might have to listen to every word I say to know what's going on. So great. Put a corner guard up there on that one, just on the side of the button. Now they're trying to freeze on top of it here. Just a little deep there. God, the ice is beautiful out there right now. Lots of curl.
Yeah, and a big shout out to Brian and Jim and Marty who've been out there
slaving away for hours. I know what it's like. They get no respect, but they put in all the work. Oh, Megan's watching. She watches all the streams. She's like our biggest fan, I think. Or we
Megan,
just tell everybody that anyway.
Megan, I'm sorry that I've had some struggles here. I don't want to turn you off. But we're getting there. We're getting there, Mike. It's starting to fall into place here.
Buddy, by Sunday, you'll have her down.
Sunday at 4.
Sunday at 4, you'll have it figured out. Do I have to phone Bruno? Bruno's my techie guy back at Okotoks.
Maybe we can get him manually, remotely, I should say.
So I told Bruno I was coming up here to Banff. Everybody that watches seen us talk a lot about Bruno. He's actually a celebrity on YouTube. But when I told him I was coming up here, and I said, I think Saxby's home for the event, and he's like, well, I'm not coming. He's intimidated by Saxby. Like, he says, Bruno's here, Saxby up here. A lot higher. So we're lucky to have a great crew here.
It's a family affair here.
We got Fenya on the sound. So if you can't hear anything, it's her fault. Thank God for family, though. This wouldn't get done. So it looked like Cooey peeled off the center guard that time after Team Libbus hit and rolled out. So they're going to try and replace that guard. Keep the pressure on here.
Just came in a little deeper than they wanted, Mike?
Just a little deep, yeah. Went full 12. They were trying to stay short of the rigs. Now the double and roll might be there. They're going to go hard for the roll. If they get the double, great, but
you throw a little bit more weight. You kind of got to guess a bit on this speed.
Well, I should have brought my remote control, Steve, because it's got presets. You just press buttons and it moves by itself.
Oh, where's the fun in that? You'd have nothing to laugh at.
Even dummies like me could have worked the camera with that remote. Well, they made the double. Didn't get the roll, but they did make the double. And so now Libbus is going to hit the one top 12. Got to stick around here, or Team Cooey's going to have a chance to come around the corner guards. Man, I haven't commentated for Jamie Cooey's games before, so every time I say Cooey, I'm looking for Kevin out there.
Well, Kevin will be on the feature match tonight.
Ooh.
Playing against the winner between the Van Amsterdam-Diaz game.
Wow.
Of course, Diaz couldn't be here, so he has somebody in replacing him for the tournament. So see how the team fares with the substitute.
Well, I know Cooey's at home, or Kevin's at home watching the live stream for sure.
I hope not.
He's trying to get a read on the ice. Good luck. Well, he's at home watching his brother curl. And he's listening to his buddy Mike on the commentator here. So
Oh, he's probably watching Mickey play. I mean, isn't there a connection there,
Mike?
There's
a huge connection to Cooey family and Mickey Pendergast. So Mickey tells me this is true anyway. So does Kevin. But when Kevin Cooey first came out of juniors and moved down to Calgary, he actually played third for Mickey Pendergast for about 3 years. And then he went on after that, and that's when he went on and played with John Morris, Mark Kennedy. for a few years.
So he traded down a little bit.
Traded down, yeah. I mean, little does he know, Mickey went on to win 3 Alberta Masters titles. Like, that's big time. So that rock just stayed a little short of the rings. Didn't roll in. They got a nose hit. So now Cooey's trying to come around the corner, but it has to stay in the rings. If it goes deep, then Team Libbus, and it just slid through. So Team Libbus will have a chance to split the rings or straight draw. Now they're going to play the in-turn draw around that center guard.
Well, Mickey must be okay with it because he's not. He's out there. The coach this time doesn't have to call a timeout. He's
that's right. He just stands there and tells him what to do.
So if he just kind of stands there and doesn't go down the hack, is that a sign that, is that a wave off like you would the pitcher?
Well, when he's doing that, it's just because he's old. He doesn't want to make too many steps out there. Eh? So he only comes down when it's necessary. But he's by far the smartest guy I've ever been on the ice with, I'll tell you. And I'm sure Kevin Cooey will tell you the same thing. He's just unbelievable strategist.
Well, team's lucky to have him associated because, that's the stuff that you need as you develop and grow as a young team. So.
Well, my mother's watching out in Cape Breton there, Steve.
What's she watching?
I don't know what she's watching, but look at the veteran. Just buries it in there on the side of the button.
Perfect weight.
Yeah. So my mother said, we're home watching from the Cape. She's down in Cape Breton watching.
Beautiful place, the Cape.
Well, you know where that area is down there.
Yeah. Great golf courses down
New Brunswick's not quite as nice, but that's okay. It's okay. Oh, and they ran it back, but stuck it in there, so a little bit of a mistake. So Libbus has a chance to draw one in here again. Really put some pressure on Team Kennedy, or Team Cooey. I keep saying because Glenn Kennedy is normally skipping when he's out there.
Yeah, they played last year.
Yeah, I think they lost the semifinals last year, Team Kennedy.
Yeah, they did quite well.
So big thanks to our sponsor, though, ATB Classic, for sponsoring not only your event, but mine in Okotoks. So we appreciate everything they do for curling in Alberta. Steve's got a whole list of sponsors here somewhere, too, that we're going to talk about throughout the weekend.
Yeah, we asked every team. Of course, we do this for the players. Certainly, as you can tell, don't do it for ourselves.
Yeah. I've lost my screen in front of me here.
You got the code there.
I do have the code, that's right.
We asked the teams to give us their sponsors so we could give them shouts out. I mean, this is a great way to promote the names and the businesses that let these curlers curl and lets them travel around and play competitively and, of course, bring us joy.
If we could just see the game.
Well, they're going hard on this. They're trying to get it there.
Yeah, just a little light out of his hand, I guess. It's too bad, a mistake back, so they have a chance to hit and roll. And the worst thing for Team Libbus is that's staggered at the front. But Team Cooey has to watch the jam at the back. So if you see that blue just hanging around the back, to make the perfect roll, they might be close to jamming there, Steve.
Yeah, they have to be careful on it. You're right. But you have to go that way. I mean, it's a perfect stagger, so there's really no run back if they can roll this over.
Hey, we're back. But they got to stick around. The key is to keep the shooter here. If they happen to roll out, Libbus is going to come around that stagger, and then it's going to be a steal. Guys at this level, you don't want to give them 2 chances. Oh, I think they're playing the straight come around here, Steve.
Yeah. Need to go hard on this, though.
Got to get in there. You got to be shot here.
You got to get it there.
Have to be shot here. Oh, just light. Now you're going to see some trouble here. They're going to actually put a little Christmas tree up here. Top 8, half tucked. It's going to be hard for Team Cooey to score. And if the line's perfect, they bear it in on the top of the button. It'll almost be, they'll have to play the run back.
Yeah, they put this in here in a great spot. It is going to be hard to score. They had that outside yellow. They could either come off or try and hit in, but that's out in no man's land.
Yeah, and you'd hate to be playing some kind of run back against 2.
Yeah, it's okay when it's against 1, but you're right. Against 2 is it's not an ideal situation. That was a big shot. I think that was the aggressive call, though. Ignore the blue. They could have sunk 2 and.
Well, the other thing with ignoring the blue, if they had a hit and roll with the blue, they probably would have slid behind the tee line anyway. So I don't think they want to get that rock in their top button, but unfortunately, just a little light. And the ice is so fast, so it's hard to come up light. I'm getting 15 seconds on some of these draws, so I'm accused of having an ice maker stopwatch, so it always says 15, Steve.
Yeah.
Every time I use it. This is tight for line a little bit here. I think they got to go here for line.
That's Matt Hendricks going hard.
They got to go hard for Wade here. Well, not going to quite make it, so they decide to stop and try and just guard the one on the side of the 4-foot. That was 15.75 on that, so. But a great decision. See, there's where the veteran presence comes in. They weren't going to get in the ring, so they tried to stop to put the guard up, and it's real scary to chase that blue back there, because if you happen to rub the top blue, you're giving up a steal of 2.
Yeah, that's you could try and peel that out, but you're right. If you just skinny off that blue, and even with a lot of weight, it can rub off either the top blue or top yellow in front of the house there. So.
It's either that or they play the out-turn draw to the side of the 4-foot, but both are difficult shots. They haven't really played that out-turn draw here this game yet. Point. You're going to have to get a shot of me this this sweater I've got on, Steve. For one, I'm dying with the heat.
Are you?
2, this thing is so tight around my stomach. This wasn't made for small fat guys.
It's
Steve.
A medium, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a medium. It's no way.
I wore medium like 10 years ago when I was working out for curling.
Well, it looks like they're going to do. What do you think? It's going to be a backline draw down
a little
to
quiet tap to it. Try and score their 1. But job done by Team Libbus here for sure. He upped the weight at all here. It might track way out here. Cooey's been a little light both this game, so.
He's out in a new path, so.
The sweepers like this one, though. Line looks fine if you've got enough weight. They got to go here. I don't think so. I got 16-1 on this.
The line was perfect if they had enough weight, though, but.
Well, there you go. Another steal for Team Libbus. Score after 2 ends of play. Team Libbus 2. Team Cooey, no score. Updates on some other sheets, Steve?
Yeah, well, yes, please.
We're not quite there yet, but you go ahead what you say. I'll try and figure out what's going on.
Well, we've
here.
got Team Clyder over on sheet number 2. They're leading 1-0 over Team Sturmey. And over on
sheet 1.
Sheet 1.
It looks like Team Conchu's up 1-0 after the first end. Hardy looks like he's playing some kind of double for maybe 2. A run back double. Well, doesn't look pretty over there for Hardy. They got a tough shot. And no score posted on sheet 4 yet.
Oh, we're just going to ease out a little here on the camera and while we wait for the first rock of this end.
You're not going to try.
No, that way you can kind of see sheet 4 before I try to move it.
I was going to be like, you're not going to try and get over there.
No, we can watch the shot come in as we...
Looks like he's going for a double run back and just hit it a little thin and rolled out. So I can't tell if it looks like maybe a steal of 2 over there. But I guess we'll find out when we put the score up. Oh, up to 113 viewers. Holy smokes. Just remember to all those viewers to make sure you subscribe and like the Banff Curling Club YouTube channel.
Well, you can do the Okotoks too.
Don't worry about Okotoks this weekend, but I think probably they're all subscribed to Okotoks already, Steve.
That's fair.
I'm sure they're all subscribed to Banff too, but
well, a couple corner guards. One of Libbus's didn't quite come all the way over, and Cooey now has 2 corner guards to start to generate some offense. Looks like they're going to play one in the middle, Team Libbus, to try and junk up that front area.
yeah, they're up 2-0 and they haven't had the hammer yet, so there can be a little more aggressive here. And if they give up a deuce, they're not totally disappointed. They'll have the hammer back going to 4, but you're right. That first guard by Henriks just didn't quite curl enough, which is weird because we're getting lots of curl off that out-turn side going away. Well, I'm getting a little dizzy here trying to watch both, but who's wearing the mics out here on these games, Steve? Do we know?
We do. The Skips, I believe, have both of them, but
we've lost audio. Oh my God, the fans are probably wishing they'd lose audio on me, but
well, thank God we got you here to talk, Mike, because if not, we might.
Why?
Might
Maybe
be
that's
quiet.
why it's so hot. This sweater, the stress is just mounting. Oh. Well, Team Cooey's going to play the come around here, those 2 center guards, but the sweepers have backed right off this one. I didn't get a time on it, so.
15, Mike, isn't it 15?
Oh,
Well, Mickey, that was a
No.
good sweep there. I mean,
that's the extent of Mickey sweeping right there. I'm surprised he actually swept that much. So Michael Dumont throwing second stones here for Team Libbus is going to try and come around these centers. And if he gets it buried in there, he'll be in good shape because those 2 rocks are staggered at the top, so there's no run backs. They got to go hard for line here to get this by. I know it seems like it's just going sideways. They look like they got a good one here, though, Steve.
yeah, it's coming in perfectly. As far as they can drag it back, top 4 almost. Yeah.
Jacob sweeping there. He's a little out of shape for sweeping. He's been skipping all year, Steve, so I don't know. He might have to get some oxygen out there eventually.
Well, I do think I recall that you guys were going to the gym together, weren't you?
Well, we were, but that's back when I was wearing mediums. It was a while ago. Now he goes to the gym by himself. Yeah, well, he's got the old freshman 20 going on up there for the last couple of years from the going to university. They have some fun. Your son's the same way. He's up there training, working out all the time.
I'm sure. At least that's the picture I get once a week.
That's what he tells you.
Yeah. I don't get the picture from all the other times.
No.
but,
So Dumont made the come around, and then Team Cooey came up light again here, so they're really going to try and bury another one. Seeing a lot. Team Cooey struggling a little bit right now to get their draw weight.
yeah, it's fairly consistent.
Yeah, it's been beautiful.
15.
15 every time. Let's see if I can get on this one for you, Steve. Oh, no. I guess we're not using that one. Sounds like we had a burnt rock there.
Never like when
So
that
that-
happens. It's going to give Cooey a chance to remove a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, and let's talk about that rule a little bit. So they burnt that rock outside of the hog line. So the rule is if you burn it within the 2 hog lines, so outside, closer to the center ice, you actually stop the rock right away. But if the rock gets burnt inside the hog line closer to the house, then you let it play out and the non-offending team has the choice to what happens. So if you wonder why that rock got stopped instantly, it's because it was burnt halfway down the ice. That makes sense to you, Steve?
Yes, it does.
Is that right? I could be wrong.
No, that's right. What I like about it is, lets it play out, and not everything's intentional. And I've seen it in games where somebody, burns a rock, and the other skip says, "You know what? That's fine."
Yeah, well, it's great. I mean, the best thing about curling is that it's a gentleman's sport, and you're calling those mistakes on your own team, and it is what it is. It happens a little bit. I actually did it the other night on Tuesday night men's. I know it's rare, but
You burned a rock in the house when you were sweeping it 3 feet?
Tuesday night men's. No, I played third on my men's team.
Ah.
I know, it's crazy, but we've got quite of a stacked team, and I play with a gentleman by the name of Brian Brown, who's a 3-time provincial runner-up and played in the TSN Skins game with Arnold Asham back in the day. So, and he's a Masters himself, so he doesn't sweep very well. Not that I do, but well, that rock slid a little deeper than they'd like. Now that the double peel is there for sure, or they might play the come around freeze. But I think they probably look at the double peel. Here's the smart shot, clear off the front. Then you might see Libbus run up and peel the corner guard.
He also might be hungry for some points here.
It might be, but
you got to set that up for you.
Got to set that up early. We're a little late in the end here, and you got to make sure you can score.
Well, looks like they're going to try and draw in on top.
Yeah, looks like they decided. Big shot here from the end, though. Got to make this one. Can't bounce off. If you bounce off a little bit, Libbus will hit and roll under the stagger again. I'm sure they're having great conversation out there, Steve. What do you think?
I think so, too.
Communication is probably perfect.
Wait, they're going to come into play here.
Yeah. Well, line looks good here. Line looks really good here. Can't bounce on this line. Oh, it's a great shot.
Now they needed one of those.
It's staggered right in behind. It's actually buried completely behind the stagger. So I think it's probably 2 shots yet to get rid of that blue. So I don't know if they'll be happy with that result.
Well, I think they'd probably play down on the yellow into the blue, don't you think, and would split the house up? I mean, not with a lot of weight, but enough weight. Again, I play Monday nights.
Yeah, you can't even see it, Steve, so I don't know what kind of weight you're throwing to split the house up. I mean, that rock is dead buried behind the stagger in front. You can tell by the camera work. It's just lost back there. So you're going to see Team Libbus throw up another center guard here. They're probably just lob one over the hog line here and take away the double run.
Or that heavy draw, split the house off the takeout.
That heavy draw off the sideboards into the... We'll see. You're right, though. There is a lot of curl off this out turn, so that'll help with your shot selection that you want them to play.
But I think
they're coming right in here. No. Line is... If they are coming in, line's good. If not, they're just overlap. It'd be nice. It's not bad. The good thing with that one is they're going to be running a blue into the house. Unless they lined
is there
up.
Enough room
Did they line up the run back, though?
It looks like they might have there, Mike. If they hit, they can almost remove both blue stones. And I think the blue shooting across are far enough not to create a big drag. Do you not think?
I don't know, Steve. This is...
they're looking at it.
They're looking to see if they can get some drag off those top 2. If they do, to get the drag, let's try this with Telestrator. Yeah, since this is yellow. So if they're hoping...
There's some right here too,
that if they hit the rock on that side, that will happen is, because the rocks are so close together, the force will actually push the yellow towards the one in the house in that direction. That's called drag. But if the rocks are farther apart, then obviously that won't work. But they actually have to be within about 2 inches of each other. But Team Cooey believes they're close enough for the drag, so we'll find out.
Well, let's get the camera work all lined up here, Mike. Let's make sure.
That was pretty good for First Illustrator, wasn't it?
That was awesome.
I mean, that was pressure. Okay, Steve, don't miss this shot, eh? That's a big one.
I'm moving.
Well, they're going to find out here. This is curling. This is over curling for sure.
We might not get to see the drag effect.
We're not even going to see what the result was.
Oh,
they did get some. Well, it actually worked out okay. The problem is blue is still shot at the back of the house.
a little tap here, you think, on that middle blue one would be?
I think they'll probably play a straight draw. Yeah. Top 4. Bury one in there, and then they'll hope Cooey doesn't make the run back double.
Yeah, because they are sitting one in the back.
That's right. So if they can throw this just full 8 or top 4 foot, be a great spot. And it's really hard to get to that one. That blue is actually buried back there, so that's hard to get to right away. There's only a couple shots to go here, Steve, in this end.
Well, let's zoom in there. I think there's 4 to be exact.
Let's not get carried away zooming. Like, don't put that much pressure on yourself. Well, I'm sure the Team Libbus is discussing the path here and the speed in this spot. They've thrown this draw a few times today. They got to, they have to just get by that corner guard, that corner yellow that's up there, Steve, because it gets so much late finish.
The right weight, this should fully bury.
Oh yeah, it's no problem making it bury if you throw the right weight.
We're going hard on it here.
Going hard to get by. They're happy with the weight. Can they get it by the yellow? No, just a little light. Oh, weight was close. But again, that yellow, that blue is buried back there, so it's hard to get to it. They're going to have to play some kind of tap on their front. Team Cooey's not liking the situation because there's a lot of blues up front that can be advanced into the rings.
You'd almost think they'd play the tap back on that middle yellow one, because then it could potentially go back towards the blue, but it gets the best chance of getting buried in behind. You hit it straight back, it's behind yours, a little off center either side, you've got some coverage on it.
Yeah, there's a big wall to tap it behind, that's for sure.
With that ice, what do you think? That looks like a tap?
Playing a tap for sure. Well, there's not really a draw to get into the 4-foot, Steve. They got to play the tap because there's... Oh, we switched rocks, actually. Cooey, what I mean there is Cooey came down and his front end had brought out the 7 rock and he switched to the 8, so he must like this rock, maybe curls a little more. So he's going to throw it because he's throwing a little more weight, so he doesn't mind that it curls a little bit.
It took a little more ice, or a little less, I guess.
A little less, yeah. He's not wide here. This looked tight out of his hand, but we'll see. The sweeper can hold it. Now it's close. Oh, they missed. They didn't realize the weight on it there, Steve. It was heavy.
Right through the back.
Yeah, that's how they held it straight anyway, because it was heavy, so. Now what do you do?
You got to tap that outside blue one.
Yeah, well, you don't want to tap the ones close to the rings because that'll might potentially open up your back one, so. if you tap the one you threw earlier and just hit it on a slight angle and bury it in there behind the corners, that'd be, oh, it's going to be real tough to score. Knowing Jacob the way I do, he's always a little dainty on these, I call it. So
Is that, you mean on the release or on the,
just
on
a
the
little
weight?
on his weight. He'll throw these a little softer than expected. So don't be surprised if his sweepers have to go full tilt on this one.
Well, they played with them for a couple of years. I'm sure they're ready for it.
Line's close here. It's close on line. I think they like the weight.
Oh, what a perfect shot that is.
Just tapped it in there to the side of the 4 foot. Now Cooey's going to have to draw against 2.
He's got a good opening, though. I mean, that's a good draw path to have. But you're right, it isn't against 1, it's against 2. And, I mean, the last few times he's been a bit short, so.
That was a nice recovery shot after coming up a little light on the last draw. And Libbus is putting the pressures on Cooey here.
Cooey was here not long ago, actually, just next door in Canmore, where he was playing in the Canadian Mixed. Had a really good run there.
That's right. And they finished, I think they got in the playoffs.
They did, and then they got against Northern Ontario in their first game and in the playoffs. And that really arguably was the championship game. I mean, those 2 top teams, and he lost a close one and went out and earned the bronze. So.
This is trouble, Steve. They're going hard for weight here, and this is on the blue.
It's got a curl.
It's light again.
This time it's for
there
2.
you go.
So.
Steal a 2 for Libbus. So, well, a little bit of a surprising start here for Team Jamie Cooey.
Yeah, they're just not really picking up on the...
Just struggling to find draw weight a little bit right now.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad hole there. There's Mike, you can see there potentially. No, not that.
Steve, let's not get carried away, Steve. Stick to the game, buddy. You're just getting it down. So let's get shout out to some sponsors here. Team Jamie Cooey has a sponsor of Prism Engineering, Inc. and Northern Employee Benefits Services. So big thanks to those sponsors. I mean, obviously it's a huge expense for Team Cooey to come down from the Northwest Territories to play events like this. So make sure you get out and support all their sponsors. And then Team Libbus sponsors are Robertson Bulk Sales and Eau Claire Distillery, along with Hardline Curling. So thanks to those sponsors. And you can follow all those sponsors on Team Libbus Instagram account. And it's, what is it, Steve? Team.Libbus. Well, that's difficult. So, yeah, Team Libbus wanted to put the first one in the rings there. Mike Henricks drew up wanted to be top 4. It's just a little light. I'm going to check, see if we're losing a little speed here, Steve.
That's good.
Usually the second and third ends are the fastest ends of the game, so. Practice, I got 15, of course, on the draw of the buttons. Can't go in the rings here. This has to stay short. This is 14-6, Steve. This is probably in.
15 was the guard before, so maybe it is coming off a little bit. That was going towards the outside, too, so it's kind of chasing away. And
yeah, it might be a fresh path for them. So maybe we're getting a little light here. Maybe though.
Let's get another one, Mike. That's the first time the stopwatch hasn't said 15.
I know,
so.
it must be broke. I'll get her going here. It's hard for me to see the hard hog line, Steve. I mean, sometimes I do it by the camera work.
Well, then you're struggling a lot. That's all I can say.
You're right. I got 13-2 on this one, but again, I might not be able to get the far hog line.
Well, that would have been at least back 8.
Yeah, they were hollering out back 4, back 8. Somebody's microphone must be working out there. We're hearing something. Looks like over on sheet 14, Diaz is up 3-2 with the hammer and 4 over Team Van Amsterdam.
Oh, Van Amsterdam, they had a good run at the provincials. They lost their first game, and then they had to win out from there. So
yeah, that was a good field up there. I think they were up in Fort McMurray.
They were in
Grand Prairie.
Grand Prairie, yeah. Oh no, Fort McMurray. No, Grand Prairie. You're right.
Yeah, and that was a good field up there. A lot of good teams. The one in the south had a pretty strong field too, with 16 teams. A lot of good teams. Unfortunate for Team Libbus, they didn't get through this year, but they're young. They'll be back there a few times. It's kind of one of the reasons I know they brought in the coach to come in and play a little bit here, because they just made some strategic errors there in that play downs. It cost them a few games.
Well, and the competition's so tight. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but they were in all those games they lost right down to the last wire, and wasn't much between them.
No, they lost their first one badly, and then after that, every game they were up 1 after 8 ends, I think, which is they're winning most of the games, and they lost them, unfortunately.
Well, I got to give a little shout out. A few years ago when COVID came, one of our great supporters of the Banff Curling Club, he helped with the live streaming. He member of the board and played in the leagues, and good friend Paul Studeman moved back to Ontario, and he's watching us tonight. And
Paul, I remember Paul. I was wondering where he was.
Yeah, thanks for not ridiculing the stream and just signing in to enjoy some of it.
Why didn't he fly out to help us out, Steve?
We tried, but
just no go.
But COVID
no
came
dedication.
Back, and the prices went up.
Oh, that's right. Lacking dedication to the team there.
Well, we're seeing about 80% of most of the shots now, I'd say, Mike. We're starting
to get the ballpark now.
Look at that. Paul, you're an inspiration. Thanks for watching, and we're trying to live up to all the great work you've done.
Yeah, just too bad you're not here to help us. Next
time. You know he was a cameraman, right? You keep saying that. Mike.
Yeah, I know. There's nobody wants him back more than me right now, Steve. I'm just loving the telestrainer. I got to get some overhead shots here eventually so I can use this thing. I'm hoping Bruno's at home watching so he can see the telestrator at use here.
And feel really good about his work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some issues with the audio. Sometimes when you put the cameras on and off people, the channels change, and we kind of got all mixed up. But don't worry, we will have the audio back.
We just blame it on Fenya. It's her fault.
I'm just trying to shift focus here from the camera to the audio.
Whatever. Well, one thing you know, Steve, it's not the commentator's fault, eh?
Absolutely not.
I don't touch any equipment. Oh, nice shot.
Jeez, we got to see all of that happen.
Wow. That was a great throw. So again, Team Libbus has tons of pressure on here over Team Cooey. Sitting 2 with center guards and trying to draw through this tiny little port here. Line looks not bad. Oh, it's just a little light again.
We're really struggling to get offense going here.
Yeah, it's been all Libbus so far in this game.
And on the commentating, I tell you.
Yeah. Let's see what other comments we're getting. Some of our fans back home in Okotoks wanted us wonder, do we have instant replay on? They don't have instant replay here. That's one up for Okotoks. I'm just going to say we don't have the telestrator, but we do have instant replay. That's why.
To be honest, Mike, I'm not sure what we did.
That's true. Nobody wants to replay Steve's. I think they actually do have it, but they have no camera work to get the instant replays. So again, it's Steve's fault.
Hey, we're getting better here. I'm not going to miss Mickey's shot. There's no way.
Oh, he'd be mad at you. Your fellow board member, Steve.
That's right.
You know, Mickey's on the board here, Curling Alberta as well. He loved to give back to the game for years. He was a player, obviously still plays at a high level, but all those years he said he was a big complainer all the time. And until he got on the board with, man, I feel so bad all those years. He didn't realize how much work it is that Curling Alberta does. They run, 44 events for Curling Alberta right now? So.
Well, when you add in all the playdowns and qualifiers and then just all the different events, it's quite a few. You don't realize it until you look at the schedule and you wonder, do we have enough clubs for them all to be at?
My God. Yeah, so if you're out there listening, you run a club, get in touch with Curling Alberta, take on an event. It's great. I mean, they might even bring in their live stream equipment, get some exposure for your club. We love it at Okotoks for sure.
Now, you've hosted a number of events, Mike, and you guys also do a lot of training up that way too. With you got an instructor there.
Yeah, we're the Excel Training Center in the South. We're lucky enough to have a lady by the name of Tina Ford Johnson, used to be fifth with Sandra Schmerler and a former Canadian junior champion. So having her at our club is a huge advantage. But yeah, no, we've had 7 events so far since the early in September this year, and we also have 4 in the next 5 weeks when we get back after Christmas. So it's nonstop there.
What types of events, Mike?
So we started out the year with a U25 event. There was an event in Calgary that was scheduled that got canceled, and we didn't want the kids not to be able to start the season on time. So we took on a U25 event to start, and then we actually hosted our ATB Classic as well in late September. And, of course, Team Kevin Cooey was victorious at that event. And then we moved on to a mixed doubles event. And then we had another junior event. We had the mixed provincials playdowns was made up for last year, Steve. We did that event late September, early October. We did a U18 qualifier last weekend.
Jeez.
It's been busy.
Speaking of mixed doubles, coming up pretty soon here, the end of December, the trials, 16 teams. They've announced them all. I don't know if they've all confirmed yet, but certainly looks like a big field and strong field to go to the Olympics and join Gushu and Jones.
Yeah, I looked at that field. I mean, it is going to be tough. I'll tell you. I see my buddy Mark Kennedy and Val Sweeting qualified. They won an event here on the weekend, which probably went a long way for points to get them in there.
Is that the Brantford?
No, they actually won the Alberta Series.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so they'll be looking forward to that event. I know some of those men's teams and ladies teams are really disappointed they didn't get the berth to go to the 4-person Olympics, but this is another chance for them all to try and get there. I wonder if that's going to be on TV, Steve. Maybe we'll get the call and your camera work will get us in there. We can stream it.
We might get the call, but it might be to...
Don't talk about it ever again. Yeah, I haven't heard if that's going to have a TV schedule or not.
It will be, I'm sure. Like, these are the Olympic trials, and I know they've held the other ones were televised, and I'm sure this one will be. And if I remember last time, I remember watching the trials when Morrison and Caitlin Laws won. Now he'll be playing with Holman.
Yeah, and then did you see that Brad Jacobs is actually going to be playing with Kerry Einerson now? last year's Canadian champions, Brad Guzzo and Kerry Einerson.
No, Mike, sorry to interrupt you, but do you want to draw this one out? They're looking to hit the outside yellow, hit the blue, hit the yellow, hit the blue in the house, come back towards the other one, and roll the other yellow one in just by bunting it to get a bite.
You want me to telestrate that,
you
Steve?
You got it, Mike, because they called it. And
like, I've only done one telestrator. Let's actually go back. They're actually going to play a draw now.
Now they're going to do a draw.
Yeah.
I don't even know
what you just said about all those bumps. And so they're going to play a straight draw. And the key to this one, if we get an overhead, or maybe not, but they want to actually corner freeze on the blue and try and get shot here. Vital they get shot on this one. If they don't get shot here, you're going to see Libbus bury another one in there. And then it's going to be real hard for Cooey to score again here, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, Libbus has done a great job. I mean, they're obviously feeling very confident, and they're playing confident. That helps you, and they're just making all their shots. And they've got Cooey up against the wall so far on most of these ends.
Weight looks good here. 14-8 on this, Steve. So those times I was getting earlier are completely wrong. There's a nice one. Look at that. Buried in there. Might be able to chase that. That thing missed the guard by at least 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah, and if you do chase it, and you can, you only have to move it 4 feet to counting 2. I mean, the other thing, if you cap it off and they can only get 1, then
yeah, if you lock it right in on top, they're gonna have a hard time getting their deuce. And then that yellow, that blue yellow at the front run back will be lined up for Team Libbus if they put one in front. So you're looking about 14-8 here again. Try and draw it in on top of the yellow. See what comments we got in the old chat room here. Mike and Steve, you guys are awesome. There you go. Steve, that must have been your family friend or something.
They must have seen the 2 shots that came close on.
Somebody said, what are the chances we see a reunion, Steve Laycock versus Dallin Myers? Oh, that's interesting.
Well, you've got the draw in front of you, Mike. Yeah. How could that happen?
Do I? Oh, yeah, I do. That could possibly happen if
Clyder.
Everybody wins and makes the final. It's one way. They're actually on opposite sides of the draw right now, so maybe in the A qualifier if they all get there.
So A or C is.
We're not going down past that because it's impossible to follow the draw at that point. We're going to assume they're going to win for a while. This one looks heavy here. So they've changed their plan here. Interesting. Well, that was a little sneaky move by the veteran Skip there.
Yeah. So what do you do here, Mike? Can you come down to the nose of the yellow and sit 2?
I think you got to freeze another one in there. But if you do, they're going to play the blue-yellow run back.
Why don't you draw that one up,
They're trying
Mike?
to look to see if they have. They're trying to look to see if they get frozen on the yellow, will they be second shot? Hard to draw it up with. Are you give us an overhead, Steve? Oh, I have to change cameras. Oh, that's my fault. Sorry. I think I was told this at the start.
Well, lots happened. Lots have happened, Mike. Here.
So they're going to have to be a little worried about this run back here.
Use the squiggly one, Mike. Oh, look at that. You're right.
Right? They're going to have to worry about that for sure if they put a yellow in there at the wrong angles. But the advantage is they will be running a yellow in. So they're going to play the draw here and hopefully they can sit second. I don't think they will, though, Steve. That blue at the back 4 looks like it is half in the 4-foot for sure. Ah, there we go. Now I have a split screen here.
Ah, a pip.
Hey. That's what I'm talking about.
That's called a fail-safe, Mike, for the camera guy.
Split screen. Yeah. This looks a little heavy.
It does. It's going to catch a piece of anything to stick around.
Yeah, it touched it, but I don't know if they're going to be happy with that.
Someone once told me when your strategy is a miss, it's not a good one.
Nope.
Chance to really, they can flop in behind and still sit shot.
Yeah, if they can tuck it a little bit in behind and stay shot, then they'd make Cooey's draw for 2 a lot tougher. You could get dead buried behind it and be shot on the side of the button.
Wow, this is a big shot. Big shot. I mean, they've had the pressure on all game, and a veteran at third, throwing third stones, Mickey's done a good job of setting these up, these ends.
This will be close. This is Jacob's bread and butter here, these little hit and rolls. I don't think you can overcurl and touch the yellow. As long as you get by the top blue, you should be close.
He's on it
No,
hard.
he's not wide here. Oh, they might have killed the line here, Steve. They might have killed the line.
No.
Yeah, just stayed a little straighter than expected. Maybe a little heavier than they thought.
Well, it's like they thought it was going to jump over the line, and they backed that one up with some good sweeping, and then. But Cooey's got a chance here to get his first points. And
Yeah, exactly. Deuce, get right back in it here.
He may actually be wanting to get rid of the hammer. See what he can do without it. Because
you sound like Friday Night Mixed, Steve. The only reason they want to get rid of their hammers, they score multiple points. That's for sure. I'm getting used to this sweater now. I think it's stretching out. Got to get a little inside roll here, though, Steve. If you hit anywhere on the high side, it's going to roll out, and you're not going to get 2. Anywhere on the inside, you get your deuce, though, because you can just roll into your yellow, score 2. There you go. So Team Cooey gets on the board with a deuce and 4. But after 4 ends of play, it's Team Libbus 4, Team Cooey 2. Steve, are you going to give more updates around the rink here?
Why don't we do that? If we look over on sheet 4, we can see that Van Amsterdam has jumped back, and they're in a 4-2 lead. And then when we look over onto sheet number 2, we can see that Clyder is leading 2-1.
Oh,
and I can't quite see over there in sheet 1, Mike. What do you see happening over there?
Looks like it's a 2-2 after 3 ends, but we didn't see the 4th end put up yet. But you're right, Van Amsterdam is now up 5-2 over Team Diaz.
Well, Van Amsterdam, we said we were playing well, so a little surprise in our game. Not that Libbus is up, but that they're up by so much so quick. Certainly we expected a good game here, and we'll see if that 2 there sparks a little bit of a rebound for Team Jamie Cooey.
Well, both these teams will, no matter who wins this game, will have to bring their A game in the next one, playing against Team Epping. I think Epping's probably the top 5 in the world right now, rankings, or actually you did give me that, so I don't know why I'm asking you. Steve, you go way to 7th. So they got to play the 7th ranked team in the world if they win this game.
Mike, maybe you can help us a little bit here. I mean, there's Canadian rankings and world rankings, and they don't always jive when you look at those. And tell us a little bit about why someone could be ranked high on one and maybe lower on another.
Well, I really don't know, but no, I'm going to guess, actually.
Okay.
Well, there's Canadian rankings, so they're called CTRS points, and they're based on playing in events in Canada. You accumulate points. And that are only for Canadian teams that are on the CTRS rankings. So you might see Team Cooey ranked 4 in the world, but they might be ranked number 1 in Canada, right? So they're actually 3 in Canada. That's just because the other teams ahead of them in the world rankings some of them might not be on the Canadian ranks because it might not be Canadians. So many top international teams out there right now that man, like you got teams like Mowat and Nadine, like those guys are some of the best in the world. So that's the difference. And then, of course, the world rankings include all those teams. That's why you'll see Team Cooey ranked 4th in the CTRS or 4th in the world, but yet 3rd in Canada. There's one other team up there that's just ranked a little bit higher in the world. And it's probably Mowat, I suspect. Steve, if you were real good, you would have had all the rankings written down here, but I see you started and then stopped.
I did.
So I suspect it's Gushew's number 1, Mowat, and then who else would be in there? Jacobs, I think, is in there, number 3 in the world, maybe, and then Cooey number 4. I suspect Gushew jumped ahead by winning the trials.
Yeah, I would say so.
But
Gushew and Jacobs are 2 of the top teams that I would think would be up there in the world, and then Cooey not far behind.
Oh, yeah. Well, those 3 teams, any one of those teams could have won the Olympic trials. I mean, unbelievable curling at that Olympic trials. I don't know if you had a chance to watch any of it, but Brad Gushew is going to be a great representative for our country for sure. And, of course, Jen Jones. I hate to call her a veteran because I think she's the same age, her and I, but she's younger than you, Steve, so she's not really a veteran, but she's experienced in the ladies' world for sure. And it wasn't a surprise for me that she won to go represent our country again at the Olympics.
I know she was hungry for it. And I was talking to Brent Lang. He'll be here later. He's obviously playing on Team Epping. And they won't be able to go over. It's only the athletes that are going. Only the nationals will be allowed to go and watch.
Oh, man.
No families and friends are allowed to go over. So
interesting. Well, that's kind of disappointing because, when you go, I'm sure when you make the Olympics, that the experience of the Olympics, not with your teammates, but with the rest of your family, is just second to none.
Yeah, you want to share it with those people, and they're a part of that whole support network who've followed you through all of that. And yeah, that's unfortunate. At least the athletes so far will be able to go over. The Olympics are still happening, and
yeah, fingers crossed we get it under control here, and they don't miss out on the Olympics for sure. Because some of these players have been trying for this their whole lives. It's pretty sad if they didn't get a chance to play.
What was it, 16 years between when Gushew went last time?
Yeah, and he was not expected to get through last time. He was the lowest ranked team there, but they did something similar to Team Libbus here and picked up a veteran when it came to the trials, and Russ Howard went in and skipped them on their way to winning the Olympic trials.
Yeah, I remember that was such a brilliant move. I mean, it gave them the veteran, and like you're seeing here at Team Libbus, that experience and confidence. So,
it's hard to match out there. Like I said, you're never going to get out skipped with a guy like Mickey on the ice. His ice reading is second to none, so he might not throw it as hard as he used to back in the day, but still the smartest guy on the ice, though. And I think he's played Jamie Cooey numerous times, so. Well, they're trying to come around the center here. A little mistake there by Team Libbus. They were trying to peel the center guard, and unfortunately Dumont was a little tight on his and ran it back, killed their shot rock at the back of the 4. But Team Libbus is just looking to make sure they can score in this end, Steve. They're up by 2. If they can make sure they at least get their 1, keep the momentum going to the 6th.
They're going to do a run back here on the center line and get at the yellow that way.
There you go. They're going to try and play this run into the yellow. And if they get a straight peel, that's okay too. It's close here. Just got to curl up a bit. Made the run back, but did he slide into the rings? No, just a little.
Very,
short of the
very
rings,
usable
great
stone,
shot,
though.
though.
Yeah.
So Libbus is sitting 1 on the edge of the 8. But you see Team Cooey's just ignoring that rock most of this end. They might go after it now, but they know they have to steal. They're kind of in a They can't give up any more points, so. I didn't see what they decided here. They decided to play the come around here, Steve, or?
I believe they are, yes. They're coming around that top yellow one.
Well, they haven't made a lot of draws at this game, so they'll be should be close here. If they're slightly heavy, you'll see them rub off the blue, but this line looks good here. If the weight's good, Kennedy will have one lost back there.
It's always a good sign, on again, off again. Now they're trying to curl it.
Yeah.
So it looks a little light.
Yeah, just a little light again. Yeah, I got 15-7 on that one, Steve, so no surprise that it's light.
It's interesting because the ice doesn't seem to have changed based on your timing, but
no, they're just not quite throwing it there. So interesting situation here. We're late in the end. Libbus could play a hit and roll off the one on the wings, or they could peel. But the problem with peeling right now, Steve, is there's a lot of rocks up front, and we can't get rid of them all. So Cooey's going to play some kind of come around, or they're going to hit the blue. They might hit the blue out in the wings and then sit 3, which would put a lot of pressure on Libbus. I'd probably hit this one over on the 12-foot, even if you hit it on the nose. Now they decide to play the peel.
I guess just making sure that Jacob has the last draw. I mean, they're confident. He's thrown some great draws this game, so make sure your skipper's got a chance to draw full 8, full 4 for that point. It is nerve-wracking when it's against 3, like you said it might be, but ignore that. And
they're going to try and double peel this yellow into the blue.
I noticed Mickey picking that one up.
It's close here. I like it. Oh, just plugged it in there. Had to curl a little bit. Well, now what are they going to do? Are they going to hit and sit 3, or they're going to tap up that yellow they just threw? They're a little nervous because Libbus does have the blue over on the wings that run in there.
What would you do, Mike? I'd like the hit and roll for 2 reasons.
Yeah.
One, you're starting to put a few rocks in the head of the person throwing those last rocks. Plus, you don't risk maybe giving up a deuce based on what happens later in the end.
I like the hit and roll myself. It's tough, but hit and rolls are hard. You know, they're only made 40% of the time by the best players in the world. So, but they'll be close even if they roll out here. But you might see Libbus tap his blue straight back, and then we'll see. We'll see after this one if he makes a perfect roll. Again, you might see them run up and peel the center again, Steve.
Yeah. Again, all these yellows are 12-foot, so you know, you're as a skipper, you're saying I should be able to get it in the 8-foot there,
Exactly.
even if there's 3
Yeah.
or 4 of them around. So
100%. Yeah, you think you can outdraw those, no problem right now. This is close. Kind of took a jump on him there.
Yeah, they were ready
shooter.
to directionally sweep that one in.
Real close. Well, it's a nice shot, but they have left the double for Team Libbus there. They have left the run back double on the front, or they could slash their blue in, but I don't know if I'd slash the blue yet. I'd leave that for my last one. Mickey will play this double on the front, or he'll peel the center.
Well, you see Jacobs motioning the blue, but I like what you're saying, and I think you'll see it.
Can't take that away this early. I mean, if you made it, great, but man, if you happen to miss it and they bury another one in there, you're big trouble.
It's really the first time in the game they've been chasing, so
Yeah, you're right.
would love to have heard that conversation with Mickey. I'm sure it would have been great. But,
Yeah, we'll never know. We'll never know. But they went back to the double, Steve. So and again, they just threw this path, so they know the ice. It ran down here pretty straight, so they're not expecting anything funny to happen. If you hit it right on the nose, sit there, and you got 2 blues up in front. I'd like the situation if I was Team Libbus if they make this double. The one fear playing the hit and roll.
I don't know many people lift the rock like that anymore.
Not many.
Glenn Howard.
It's close here. Got to hold it. Oh. Made it. Made the double. Got it off the 4-foot anyway.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good shot by the old veteran.
And it's open. I mean,
they overslept it a bit.
Cooey's got a chance to
draw one in
there.
here.
He'll be able to sit 3.
They overswept that a little bit.
Looks like they're cleaning in front of the
hog glide there. Yeah, must have saw a little spot.
And see which rock they kicked out for Cooey? Did it 7 or 8?
No, I didn't. I think it's the 8 rock. Well, we'll see if he gets his draw weight here. Line's good here. It's not heavy, that's for sure. Sweepers like this one, Steve. This is going to be close.
Yeah, they're trying to stop it from rubbing.
Oh,
just
rubbed on the guard.
And do they still rub off that one? Couple of rubs.
Couple rubs, although unfortunately they left a little hit and roll for Libbus. They could roll either way too. Could roll under the center, or they could even roll into that yellow on the side and get shot.
Geez, he had perfect weight if he hadn't rubbed either.
Well, we'll see what kind of weight. I wish we knew what kind of weight they're calling here.
Well,
probably
we
just
are
board.
going to show you here. There's our commentator. Look at that, wearing that sweater. He's, looks fit to kill. It's a telestrator in front of him. I like the stickers on his computer.
I
Mike,
can't see any
computer?
of this stuff,
Yeah.
Steve. I don't even know what you're looking at.
You'd have
here.
to switch cameras there, Mike, to be able to see yourself. But we're getting ready to shoot here, so we're going to...
No, not that one. Well, we'll watch the shot. That's the more important thing, Steve.
Yes.
So he looks on the screen that rock is wide open. Threw about board here.
It's got good rotation on it, too.
Got to go hard
They're
for a line.
really
This
going
is
hard.
all over the front, I think. Wow, he won't be happy with that result. It was a little under more than it looked on the screen, but I think he just got that going a bit. Got to understand the miss there. He could have hit and rolled wide side on that one, Steve.
Yeah, and you even had a catcher over there if you caught it thin enough. So wrong misses, they would say.
Even a nose hit would have been good. Make him make another perfect hit and roll. They're going to be throwing against 4 here in a second. And maybe only have a tap.
Where would you put this one, Mike? Where's the ideal? I mean, you're not really looking to put another one in the 4-foot, are you?
I'm biting the 12.
Yeah.
Directly in front of that yellow. Maybe give him a little teaser on the in-turn side, same turn he just threw. Show him a sliver, but they're also saying there's probably no chance he's going to miss the tap.
Yeah.
So they're thinking if they get another one in the 4-foot, he can at least, then he's got to throw against 2. But problem is if you go too deep and leave the double, then it's an easy shot. kind of exchanging misses here a little bit. I don't know if it's a tricky spot or it's never the ice's fault anyway, Steve. You know that.
No, you're right.
It's all in how you throw it. I think I heard a 3 out of his hand, which means that's just short of the rings. I don't know if this is going to make the rings. It might just end up with a guard here. Can't really tell.
Well, it's going to get underneath there. He's going
close.
But he's leaving him a wide open hit, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got the same shot for one, for sure.
You think did that just over curl or did it?
Must have.
Because you wouldn't think you leave him an open hit even for the one.
Well, he's got to throw the same shot, I guess. Hopefully this one. Got to be closer on this throw. Big shot here, though, in the game. It could really change around here if you don't make the nose hit. Probably throwing board here, Steve, at this one. Maybe
whatever
control.
He's comfortable with, yeah. They should have a good sense of the line.
I think they took a little more ice here on this one.
They must have heard you, Mike. Where's the pro miss on this?
Anywhere high side should be fine here.
Going hard on it.
No, they're clean now. I think they're happy with this one, Steve.
Yep. And I think they'll be very happy with the
outcome. There you go, nose hit for one. That one kind of tracked down there nice and straight. The other one curled a little bit, so he must have got the first one going a bit. Never the ice's fault, so only the player's fault. Players would hate that I say that, but it's true. As an ice maker, I can't blame the ice.
No, 15 and can't blame the ice.
No. So there you go, big one. 5-2 after 5 ends of play.
Well, Cooey, though, so is 2-1 in terms of ends to score, but he's going to have to put up a deuce, I think, here. Definitely needs to score here.
This is you'll see an interesting end here. Cooey's going to go hard for a deuce here, so it's either going to be a deuce or give up a steal of a bunch and shake hands. So there probably won't be anywhere in between. Megan said I'm looking cozy in there. That's probably you guys she's talking about.
No, we had you up there, Mike.
Did you?
Yeah. You couldn't see it. You had to change the camera. So.
Murray said, good job, guys. Awesome. Great job, Mike and Steve. Or is it Steve and Mike?
Definitely Mike and Steve this game.
Nah, it could be Steve and Mike. It doesn't matter to us. Well, just slid a little deep, back 8 there, so. Trying to throw that one top 4 to keep the pressure on, but that rock won't help Team Libbus at the back 8, that's for sure.
No, they say guards out front and guards behind the tee line are the last thrower's friend.
That's what you want. So a big shot here, though. These are the ones that are important, you know. You got to throw up the corner guard. If you slide into the rings, of course, you know the Team Libbus will be able to hit it. You don't want to waste a guard when you got this 5-rock roll, but
you know, it's funny, Mike, when you're doing the camera work, you can almost tell by how fast you have to go whether the person's made the draw or the guard or the
Yeah, those are probably the hard ones when it's moving so slow. The joysticks are a little delicate sometimes.
Yeah. It's funny, we use an Xbox joystick, and of course I'm not a gamer, Mike.
What do you mean? You're not at home on your PlayStation all the time practicing?
You know, I used to play Asteroids, Pac-Man. I don't remember it being so sensitive, Mike.
I did have Nintendo. Like, I had Mario Brothers, the first one. When Nintendo first came out, I was pretty good at that one, Steve.
When I used to do the skiing game, there was gates and a ski, and that's all you saw.
That was it?
I don't think they were quite capable of making people.
So based on your camera work, you weren't very good?
No.
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 But I do see improvements as we go along here, so you're getting better all the time, bud. 14:56 on that one, Steve. So ice is still running good. 14.5, no problem to the button.
That's great. You know, as an ice maker yourself, the ice makers sit back here and watch and time and watch.
People don't realize the kind of pressure icemen are under watching these games. They're just terrified that something goes wrong because of the ice. You're trying to put the best product out there for the players all the time. You're working your tail off, and you know, I know Brian and them, they do a great job here, so big shout out to them for sure. You guys are lucky here.
Well, we're very lucky too. We've had a skins game, and we've had with Qualico Mix, Darren Molding's come up, the ice maker at Lacombe, and you know, Brian has been just a great student of all theirs, and he's learned a lot. Even today, he was emailing and calling with Darren Molding to get some of the different scrape patterns and talking it through. So just a great community in the ice makers, just sharing that expertise and helping each other out. So
nice. Yeah, and I was talking to Marty. He said they did a flood about a week ago here just to try and get everything nice and level again. And the rocks look like they might have been enhanced a bit. They're getting lots of late finish. So
yeah, they sharpened them. And Monday Night League was the first time that they were used. And let's say we wore them in for them.
I just love when the league plays right after you enhance the rocks. Eh, Steve?
Yeah.
They just have no idea. All of a sudden they're getting 8 feet of swing.
Yeah, and they don't match up very well the first few times you're throwing them either. So, but we had teams in practicing, and they were very happy with what they were getting for speed and curl. So that's always a good sign before the tournament starts.
That's awesome, yeah. What a great weekend you have here. The weekend before Christmas. I'm sure you got all your Christmas shopping done, Steve.
No.
No, okay, well.
But I learned a while ago, Mike, I used to start early and in November. And then what happened was I'd almost start again.
November.
I'd start.
Now we know you're not for real. Come on.
Start again.
No man starts in November, Steve. Come on.
Yeah, no, it's true. I know it sounds funny, but it's true. But then I'd buy it again in the middle of December, so I thought I might as well wait last minute because I'm going to buy twice.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the same boat. I haven't started either. So.
Do you know what you're getting, though? I mean,
no idea. No, I'm waiting for the list.
Okay.
I need my wife to give me a list because, you know, years ago I tried to buy gifts for Carly for Christmas and didn't work out too well. Let's put it that way. So she returned pretty much everything I bought. So now I said, just give me the list, and then she gets exactly what she wants.
And the right size, too,
exactly.
Right?
And I even know the store to go to.
It's already been put away? Just show up and pick up?
Was that an instant replay? No. Just a little delayed from what I'm watching. It's like, wow, what a great hit and roll again.
One year we did the old, let's just give money and go on Boxing Day and take advantage of the sales. Never again.
No,
never.
That's a disaster.
I don't care how much you're saving, it's not worth it.
I think Carly bought us a TV this year, a big screen TV.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Normally the TV's for me, but we have one in our bedroom, and she complains she can't see it, so I'm sure the TV's for her this year because we're going to shift all the other TVs, so we have a bigger one in our bedroom.
Yeah, there was a great little show by Coach, although we'll call him Mickey there, where, you know, he took ownership for that last shot, saying, hey, it wasn't your throw, it was mine. I gave you the wrong ice.
Yeah.
That's the type of communication you see amongst the really good teams.
Well, they were happy. They didn't mind getting the straight peel. I mean, right now, if they give up 2, they give up 2, but they didn't mind a straight peel. It's real hard to defend against the deuce. So they tried the run back, great, but if they didn't make it, they got the straight peel. Now they'll hit the open rock and probably roll over somewhere close to that yellow. That yellow is probably half open from the hack. It overcurled a little bit behind the corner, so they will be able to access that later. And again, everybody would think, well, your shot on the button and your second shot at the back 8, but still, you're not at like all the momentum right now on this end is for Team Cooey. They're looking real good for a deuce.
Yeah, that's the one thing watching the Olympics. I'll never forget Mark Kennedy's comment when he said, I'm okay to give them 2 here.
Yeah.
I just...
I don't want to give him 3. Yeah, this is the smart call. Hit the open one. You might see Cooey even wrap one around the corner again, but like I said, that rock did overcurl a bit. So it's half open. Real close here. Real close here to rolling over there by that yellow. Oh, what a great throw by the veteran. Cross the ring double to sit 3. Great shot.
Yeah, now they're gonna have to make some plays on these. There's too many blues. So.
Wow. Pistol. He's made a few of those in his day.
That seemed like a ho-hum.
Yeah, pretty much. I said earlier he can't throw very hard, but that was thrown down there with some good speed. So when I said that earlier, I was just making it up. He really can throw it hard.
Well, he just lifted that one higher, I thought. That came up near the waist on the backswing.
Yeah.
And not a chip out of the ice either.
No. I'd smash the rock down into the ice. The ice maker would be pissed off at me. It'd be all bad if I did that. Well, Team Cooey is they're not totally disappointed with the situation. They might have to make a move, or they could freeze one on the corner behind the yellow, or hit and roll on top. But
can't they make the double and end up pretty well behind the yellow, or you think it bounces out?
Yeah, I think if they plug the double right there, it's wide open, and Team Libbus will be able to hit it. But again, the 2 is still in play because that yellow that Mickey made didn't quite get out of the rings. But you have to stick around here. If not, Team Libbus will just hit the open yellow. And then the deuce is almost gone. It's like Hardy's battled back over on sheet 1 to take a 4-3 lead on Conchu with the hammer and 6. This is close here. Might roll out. No, made a nice shot. There you go.
And just underneath the yellow, too.
Well, and the great thing about it is there's actually, you can't roll under here because you'll jam on the back and then you give him 3. You might see him hit the open one here once it's all said and done. Possible you might see him hit the open one here, Steve. They're going to try and chase it, but
well, they're both pretty
it's
open,
delicate.
especially coming from the center line.
And I guess it's hard to overcurl and not rub on the guard, so you just hit the 7/8. You might trickle, just get half berry to be good.
Now, there may be no story, Mike, but I see Mickey's wearing number 7. Is there anything to the number?
No idea, Steve. You stumped me there, buddy. I'll have to find that out. Do some investigating reporting later. I'll have the answer for the next game. The next game they're streamed. Gotta go hard to get by the corner. Oh, he's by the corner by a lot. Real close here.
It's going to get inside roll.
Oh, my God. Is that any good? Can you make it any better?
And he missed the back one.
Oh, my. Just rubbed the back one over a sliver. Like, absolutely perfect. Wow.
That's why he wears 7.
That's why. He's got the smile. Jacob has nothing but to say, but another perfect shot, Coach.
That's what you meant when you said what you wanted last game. I got it.
Mickey played with them one time this year in Calgary at an event, and they won
that
handily.
was 8-0 or something.
Yeah, they won handily, 9-0 in that game. And I remember Mike Henricks, the lead, said, "Oh, you're pretty good, aren't you?" That was his response. And he says, "Well, I made every shot, so yeah, I'm pretty good."
Oh, there's a nice shot.
Great shot by Cooey there. So by Kennedy on Team Cooey. So now the deuce is definitely in play. You hit, and you have to roll way over, because if you just roll a rock width, you're going to leave the double on the 2 blues. But I guess if they make the double, you'll have a double back, right?
That's it.
I guess the goal is to get by the yellow.
And we've seen pretty accessible. They've thrown enough rocks down here, too. They're pretty comfortable with the line, I'd say.
Yeah, they know the path here. It doesn't jump on you. It ran nice and true there for Mickey on his throw. It's key is weight control here. You just want to throw board, light board here. Kill the yellow and roll over and just hang on the edge of the 8-foot or the edge of the 4 where there's no double. But the important thing is to make the yellow go away. Van Amsterdam's in a little bit of trouble over on sheet 4.
He has hammer, though.
Adams just made a great run back double there to get rid of a couple rocks. This is close. Through this clean. Well, it looks pretty good. Great line call. Oh,
really good roll.
Absolutely perfect. I don't know if they can make the double and stick around. Steve, what do you think?
No, I think it's a risk, too. Well, you know what? I mean, it depends on the weight, right? And they really, with the right weight, probably moves it enough, the second one, that he sits close too. But you almost got to take it on now.
Yeah, you have to try.
You know, I just think I'd do it with light weight, because even if you just build a wall at the back, you know, it makes it harder, too, for...
I think they'll try and either try and hit and roll right in front of the blue or maybe chase it with board and see if they can hang around on the edge of the 12.
Looks like they're doing the hit and roll, though.
Yeah, they're not taking much ice, are they?
Oh, no, he's sweeping it there. I'm not sure. But you wouldn't think you'd want to throw it too heavy, because that's the risk of not sticking around.
Yeah, it's... you got to be real... You know, both teams have to be real precise on these rolls. If you roll out here, the end's gone. The game's almost over. Down 3, going to 7.
There's got to be a percentage on that at this level. And it's not good.
They're sweeping hard here to hold this. Mickey thinks it might roll out here. No, it's close. It's not that bad.
No, he did roll over
just
towards the
rolled
center.
A little bit, so now you'll see them try and roll in behind the corner. You got to roll at least half under the yellow to not leave a double. But you got to be delicate here. You don't want to jam on that back blue and give up a 3.
No. They're going to come the other way, it looks like, too. Smart move there.
Seems a little more natural. I don't know if they know this turn, though, Steve. I kind of like the other turn myself.
Is there a reason for that in terms of trying to get a better roll or less steep roll?
They're trying to play this turn. It's a little more natural. That if they hit it and roll out and they give up a deuce, so what? They're okay with that. But if the other turn they've just seeded, thrown, they can take less ice and just play it quiet and roll over the 8-foot. But we'll see. They like this turn. I mean, when you got Mike Henricks on the other side sweeping it, it's...
Maybe that's why they chose it.
They got to go hard here. Got to go real hard here so it doesn't jam. Oh, what another pistol. Buried.
They got to go hard to make it perfect.
Never mind. I thought it was worth the jam. The intensity of the scream, I thought it was a jam. That's like for you and I on Monday night. Hard, no jam. They're going hard to make a perfect roll.
If you just followed my camera work, Mike, I'm sure you would have seen that was going to be perfect.
Yeah, what was I thinking? Well, now Cooey has to draw against 2 for a single point.
Well, you know what I mean? They played a great end to try and build a multiple, but Libbus played a great end right back.
I hate to say it, it was the Pendergast shot across the ring doubles that set this whole end up. I mean, Libbus just threw some precise hit and rolls, but man, that shot for Pendergast across the rings. Now you see Jamie Cooey has to touch the 4-foot for the win, or for the 1. Sweepers are going hard on this one, Steve, early.
Yeah. Yeah. And my camera work, I can keep up with it. That's usually
not a
light.
good sign.
No. No. No, I don't think they're
This
going
is
to come close.
16-7. And
Well, he's not giving up on it, but
no. There you go, shaking hands. We have a final in the books. That's a big win for Team Libbus to start off the ATB Classic.
yeah. Well, we're going to try and slide over, Mike.
Well,
Do you want to go 2 or 4?
I thought we were just going to stop. I didn't know you were going to take that on.
2 or 4? Where do you want to go here, Mike? Sturmey, Clyder looks
let's jump
close.
over to 2. Let's watch some of that game. Sturmey's down 1 with the hammer in 6 here. So, but congratulations, Team Libbus, on the victory. They're moving on. Now you have to play the 7th-ranked team in the world, Team Epping. The final score of that game was
They took 2 there, so it'd be
7-2 for Team
7-2.
Libbus.
all right.
Look at Mickey's teammate Randy. Said, "Attaboy, Mickey." Mickey's Masters teammate. So we're going to jump over to sheet 2, where we have Team Sturmey against Team Clyder. Of course, we mentioned earlier, Clyder has Steve Laycock on the team now.
Yeah, a few teams over from
Clyder's
Saskatchewan.
been to many national championships for juniors. Moved up in the men's rankings the last couple of years here, so. Looks like Clyder's throwing. He's got last rock, and he's drawn against 2. Sweepers are going on this one too, Steve, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah, those guys can sweep.
Yeah, weight looks pretty good here. They got to go to get. Just getting in there. Good sweeping for his 1. Clyder takes a 4-2 lead heading into the 7th end. We'll get more updates. Hardy's taking a 7-3 lead over there after 6 ends now. And over on sheet 4, it looks like Team Diaz sitting 2 with the hammer. So that's a close game as well over there on sheet 4, Steve.
Yeah, it's been a good game all afternoon.
So we've got Steve Laycock throwing lead stones for Team Clyder. Is that correct, Steve? Yeah, I think so. Steve, we got nothing here from me, buddy. All I got is sponsors here. What kind of production meeting did you guys have before this show?
All right, yeah, we did a production meeting, Mike. I obviously didn't have a big one.
You were by yourself. You invited other people, but no one showed up. Oh, great job. Look at that. Van Amsterdam scored 2. Man, I was way off. Van Amsterdam had the hammer, and they just made a double for 2. What a great throw over on sheet 4.
Mike, what we've done here is we set the 2 cameras up stationary so we can actually keep an eye on all the games. And if there's going to be a great shot on any one, we'll zoom right into it.
Awesome.
Now, I don't know if that's lack of confidence in the camera guy or if that's just us trying to be really good.
Saxby said, "You're done. You've done enough. I can't keep up anymore, so just put them in one place and leave it."
You know, I am going to zoom a little here and there just because I think there's opportunity. It's hard to see if you don't zoom a little bit in.
Well, we're in for a big game tonight now. I guess we'll have Team Cooey will play. Who's Cooey waiting for?
Cooey's waiting for Diaz Van Amsterdam.
Oh, the winner of DS Van Amsterdam over there. And the winner of this Clyder Sturmey goes on to play against Mike McEwen. So, wow, your next game is not going to be easy no matter who you have to play.
Nope. What happened over on sheet 1 there? It looks
Sheet
like
1, it looks like Hardy
just blew that one
up.
open.
Yeah, they stepped it up over there.
And they're
Big
sitting a whole
three-ender.
bunch in the house, too.
Conchu, they've got twin brothers playing front end for them, and those guys played with Botcher when he won the World Juniors back in the day. That was Botcher's front end. I don't know if anybody knows that, except for Wade Johnson. He knows all the facts.
All the facts. Geez, watching 3 games is really hard to do. I'm just not going to lie to you. I kind of pick one. We almost need to pick one, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know who we're watching here. We're going to try and watch the Clyder Sturmey game. That one's the closest right now. 4-2 for Clyder over Sturmey. And unfortunately, it looks like Sturmey must have thrown the first 2 in the house. We were watching another game, didn't see the result there. There's no guards up in front. Geez, maybe we can get Mickey in here for a few minutes to get a little interview with him. Steve, what do you think?
I think that's brilliant. I think we should get him over here.
Go bring Mickey over. We'll ask him how the game went.
He must be doing a bit of a team debrief over there. No. He did that all during the game, didn't he?
Yeah, they're out there the whole time. They don't need to debrief. They talk about it every end. It's great.
Exactly.
Don't leave us on the camera work, Steve. Well, we're lucky to be joined by the now skip of Team Libbus that game.
Hello.
Hello.
Test
We're
1, 2.
joined by Mickey Pendergast, the winning skip on Team Libbus there against Team Cooey. How'd it go out there, Coach?
That was good. It was fun. Ice was good, and made a few shots, and got a couple of gifts from Jamie, which we accepted, it being the Christmas season and all. So it all worked out fine.
Yeah, no, they struggled to find draw weight early, and it looked like your team was on it early, and they had good control of the rocks and putting the rocks in the right position. So they're putting a lot of pressure on the first few ends.
Yeah, no, we did, and then we kind of tried to play a little defense, which didn't work out so good, but we were able to execute well enough in 5 and 6 and got away with it. So.
Well, let's talk about your shot in 6 across the rings there, Mick. That was a turning point of that end for sure. It really, rock position was great after that, but I think that shot was the shot of the end, maybe the shot of the game going across the rings there. I was telling everybody you don't throw it as hard as you used to, but that was a missile coming
That's about as hard
down.
I can throw it anymore, but it worked out really good considering where I slid out. So I slid about 2 feet narrow and then sort of veteran recovery, manipulated it back somewhere close, and I let Jake call the line so I couldn't see it from where I was.
You can't see that far anymore.
No, it worked out good. We were really just hoping to eliminate the main rock and roll in for third. We knew the angle was there if we happened to get hit on the right spot. So, got a little lucky.
You made it perfect. Then you finished off the end with some great hit and rolls.
Yeah, Jake made 2 pistols. Hit and roll is always a hard shot to be precise with, but he threw the right weight at the right.
So tell us a little bit about the next game. You've got some tough competition coming up in the next one.
Yeah, I got John Epping. I think he's top 5 in the world or something. So.
We have that stat. It's actually 7.
7?
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he probably went backwards a little bit after the trials, yeah.
But
yeah, so, looking forward to it. It's always fun to play. That's why I go to these events, because you, win or lose, you always learn something playing against the guys who are best in the world.
Yeah, there's
tactics and everything else. So
stacked field once again here for our ATB Classic. You guys have played in them a few times now, so you're off to a better start than you've had in the past. So that's pretty exciting for the boys.
Well, it's always important to get a win under your belts and build up some confidence. It's the way the draw is, we kind of have to win the next one too, because if you lose this one, we're right back to sort of the same place in B. So we've got to keep it going.
Yeah, I think you guys will play well. You play like that, you're going to give Epping a game, that's for sure. They're They're probably trying to get ready for play downs in Ontario and see if they can make another Briar. That's probably their goal while they're out here playing some stiff competition.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how much they're playing after the trials, but you're right. They have to try and peak again here in January for whatever their next level is. So yeah, it's always fun to come to Banff. So it's never a bad thing.
Ice looked good out there, like you said. Looked like speed was pretty good from the get-go.
Yeah, no, it was nice and keen. We were getting keener than 15 seconds for draw. It came back a little bit towards the end, but that's normal to be expected. But lots of finish. We took totally different ice than they did, but they probably throw it better or something. I don't know. But they were taking a foot less ice for everything than we were. So, but we were getting to go to the right spots. So that's all you have to. That's all you can hope for.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was a well-curled game by your team for sure. So, well, we're trying to keep an eye on some of these other games out here. The one next to you got Clyder against Sturmey, two young teams. Probably see them as we go along. You got anything you can tell us about those teams, Mick? You've been scouting them all?
No, not really. I know Sturmey's been threatening Alberta for a number of years, so they're always tough. I remember Clyder was dominant in U21 or something, where they
in
kind of won it all.
Saskatchewan. They won a lot of years in Saskatchewan.
So they're an awfully good young team, and then you got Hardy can always play, and you got Van Amsterdam over here. So yeah, there's no open spots on the bingo card out here.
Well, what did you teach me one time? If you're looking for an easy game, you're probably it.
Yeah, that's right. You're trying to figure who the crappy team is. You might have to just look in the mirror.
So Sturmey over there, you saw it was interesting little development there. Sturmey, they had no rocks in play, and they called a throw through by their third, Kennedy, which is a little interesting. I might have considered throwing up a corner guard and went at it, but they play the percentages. They want to keep the hammer going to 8.
So this is in 7, or they're just trying to blanket and.
I guess they're trying to blank now. Yeah, they called a throw through, which was Clyder would be happy to force here. That's for sure.
I guess they're probably afraid of putting it in the wrong place, and he makes a freeze or something like that. If he tucks one behind this scrawny little corner guard, that'd be interesting. Put it on the tee line, biting an inch of the 12th. He might rethink his throws. So what, he's up 1.
Sturmey's down 1 width in 7 here.
Yeah, so he just could not afford to get forced, so I guess that's what he's afraid of. And probably Clyder, if you do throw it in the rings, if you're behind the tee, he just freezes because he doesn't mind giving you 2.
So, yeah, Sturmey got off to a slow start in this game. Might have been because they were late getting here. I know the roads were bad coming from Edmonton.
Isn't he down 2?
Sturmey's down 2.
I said down 1. So down 2.
Oh, sorry, down 2 with.
Yeah, then the blank's the only option once you get this far down the end.
And they didn't get a chance to practice pre-game. They were a little late and lost their chance to practice. So.
That'll do it.
Oh, and no wonder Sturmey's, their skip's not even here this game.
No, I didn't notice that.
Didn't even notice that myself until I saw Stanky throwing last rocks here.
So it's a 3-man quartet right now.
So I wonder if Sturmey must have maybe had some exams getting in the way or something. But this team qualified to go to provincials, so this is a good way to stay sharp before that.
Yeah, for sure. That's only a couple of weeks away.
A couple of weeks up in Grand Prairie. And then what's on your schedule for this year, Mick?
You mean me personally?
Your team, yeah.
My old Masters team?
Your Masters team. They were watching today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Who's on that team again, Mick, in your Masters team?
Rob Armitage, Randy Ponich, and Kevin, my brother.
Yeah, Randy made a little statement there, said nice shot, Mick, earlier, so he's sitting at home watching.
That's good. He's got nothing else to do. I would say, for Masters, our play down will start in February, so we've got a ways to go yet.
So this is a good way for you to get some games in prior to that.
It's always good to throw a bit. Keep the boys into it, so it's all good.
One of the reasons I know the team made a little bit of change, get you out there playing, just so you can do some on-ice coaching.
We
talked about they're struggling a little bit on strategy, and
it's a weird game to try and coach because you don't really get to coach during the game. You try and do some debriefing after the game and tell them what you might have done different or how you might have approached a certain situation. But you can't coach during the game when you're behind the glass. So you maybe get a timeout or something, but that's it. So it's nice to be able to be out there and have that communication and making calling the shots together, sort of explaining why we're doing what we're doing, and so it's I think it's a more effective way of coaching. I'd like to do it in Spiel is not quite so tough, but it is what it is.
That's okay. Did that one hold on down there at the edge of the 12-foot?
Looks like a biter. They're looking
Looks
at it
like a
pretty
biter.
hard.
They're going to have to peel. What a great shot by Clyder.
You can probably see half, maybe.
I got 14.9 on that too, so speed's
right.
still pretty good.
Yeah, out to the wings it will be for sure.
So what's your game plan in between games here? I know you're back on the ice at, what time, 8 p.m. tonight?
Yeah, right back on at 8. So we're going to have a bite to eat and relax for I don't know, half an hour, and then back at her.
And our feature game tonight, so everybody knows, is Kevin Cooey against the winner of DS Van Amsterdam. Of course, Cooey lost the final here last year to Hardy. Hardy's the ATB Classic defending champion in Banff. And Cooey won the ATB Classic in Okotoks. And there you go, a little rub on that corner guard. And
they're looking to see if it's even in.
Now they're going to check, maybe measure it.
I don't know this DS team. Where are they from?
They're out of Saskatchewan. So Jacob's former teammate Dustin McCush is on that team.
Oh, okay, good.
So I think they're a young team, but I'm not sure. Well, I don't know a lot
Van
about them
Amsterdam's
either.
up in that game.
Van Amsterdam's playing really well over there. Hot off their qualification to go to provincial, so they're playing well. So they're going to put a measuring tape on this one and see if it's in. Well, while we do that, well, thanks, Mick, for coming in and joining us.
For sure.
We
Anytime.
appreciate it.
Anytime. Thanks.
We'll let you go back and rest up, and good luck in your next game.
Time for a nap. Thanks.
Well, I didn't see what the measurement was there on sheet 2, if it was a yellow rock or not. Guess we'll find out when they put the score up on the board. We lost our camera work here. Interesting development there in the last end, Steve. I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but
Was it in?
Sturmey, I don't know if it was in or not. Sturmey decided to throw a rock through the house, and it ended up where they had to peel one that they thought was biting, and they just rubbed on the guard and came down to a measurement. So,
And it was out because they're obviously throwing.
well, no, it
No.
could have been in. We don't know. We won't know until the score's put up.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So,
That was a great draw to even try and put it over there.
oh,
That's
what
so
a
hard to do.
spectacular shot by Clyder. Just perfect. And I see Karsten's not here this weekend. Is it just this game, or is he not here for the whole weekend?
I'm going to find out. The team was got here just after practice starting, so they were so I don't know, just because I haven't had a chance to chat with them, but certainly we'll talk to Tristan afterwards and find out more on that development. My understanding was he was coming, so we'll get that and we'll report back at the 8 p.m. game. One of our viewers, Amber Lee, who actually is the manager of the club here. Amber Lee does a great job for us. She just wrote in to say it was out.
It was out. Well, at least she's paying attention.
Yes, it must have been that overhead camera review I didn't give her that.
That you do. So there you go. I guess they're so down to width for Sturmey here in the last end. They're going to go with a double corner guard here. Obviously trying to score their 3 to win.
Now, Mike, while we're watching this, and since you bring it up, without Sturmey here, they're playing with 3. What's your thought on 3-person team, 4-person teams? Do you think there can be an advantage when you're throwing 3 rocks, and with the way the sweeping's going now? What's your take on it?
You know, it's funny. We have one team here in Alberta, Schlechinsky, that they believe that 3 is actually better for a team if you play as 3. Because you're only usually having one sweeper anyway. The second person sweeping is not doing much of the work. And you see on hits that they're only having single sweepers to try and make it straight or curl. So I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I think there's that coaching part out there, or that, that support staff out there when you're sweeping. It's always nice to have that other guy reading the weight, and you can have your head down and sweep, and someone else can tell you where it's going to stop. And so I'm not a fan of the 3. I think you end up overthrowing it as a thrower. It's really hard to stay, just try and not throw it there yourself, right? You're trying to throw it to your sweepers all the time, and the mindset is to throw it lighter, let your sweepers get it there. But if you only have one on the one sweeper, it's awfully, I find it a lot tougher myself. How about you, Steve?
You know what? I think if you ask the front ends, they probably say 4. I like the 4. I like the 4. I think because with 3, I think the 3 people are extremely busy, and the 4th is, an opportunity for maybe a little break, not just on the sweeping, but someone to talk to at the other end, and kind of gives you 2 pairs, and I think it builds better teamwork and better playing. But
I'll tell you, though, if the 3 guys are all playing at the top of their game, it's pretty good. It's a lot harder to, I guess percentages tell you with 3 guys, it's less chance that someone's playing bad than when you have 4, an extra guy. So,
well, as someone who's on the board of their club, I guess 4 means there's more people curling.
But as a club manager, it's mandatory 4. I'm good with 5 or 6. That's why we have a hard time getting a doubles league going, because we can't give up prime time for half the curlers.
But if you look at it from a team, I mean, prize money wise, if you're 3, money divides a little larger for you if you're 3
true.
over 4. So
that's true. Although the expenses are a lot higher for 3 guys too.
Well, you just get a rollaway caught in there, Mike. that's less expensive.
That's true.
Well, some great setup by Yellow, and
there's a mistake.
Tough miss by Vance there.
Yeah, that rock just a little heavy there, or maybe just a little too much ice. And Clyder's in total control of this game now. Oh, it was a blank. She's right. At least Amber's paying attention.
Yep.
Maybe she can run the camera in the next game, Steve.
Come on down.
She saw what it was like. It can't be any worse. Just kidding. You did a great job for throwing in there last minute.
Well, the curler stopped after 6, unless somebody sent him a note and say it's terrible.
I can't take it anymore. Please.
Yeah, I thought that was a great pickup by the Clyder team to get Laycock, a veteran, in there. I'm sure. I mean, they were a good team, as you said. We watched them play in the Canadian juniors a few times, and now adding someone like Laycock is just like watching that Libbus team where they add in Mickey there, and it's just they can really help develop and bring confidence to it.
Well, it was funny. I just got a text message from Mark Kennedy. He was obviously watching the game with his brother playing, and said, I see your son brought in the ringer at 3rd. A wily veteran, he said. Yeah, it was all planned out for sure.
Yeah.
And it helped that one of our players couldn't make the game, so, whatever.
Big smile on Mickey's face there, too. I think he's still smiling, even behind the mask.
Oh, yeah, he knows he can compete out there. There's never a lack of confidence with Mickey, that's for sure.
So will he be playing the next game, or?
Yep. No, I think Mickey will be playing the next game. He's trying to go home and have a nap, he said. Rest up. Everybody wants to talk to him because he knows everybody in the building usually. Been to so many of these events.
I don't know what they're trying to do here. I think they're trying to draw around the corner blue one, are they? And freeze on the yellow in the top 8?
Well, it's hanging, so I think they're trying to wrap it all the way around the yellow and blue, so.
Wow.
Which worked out pretty good, actually.
I'd say, yeah. Now he's going to probably play the run yellow onto the blue. Run. Mike, hey, Clyder has a few sponsors there, I think.
Clyder does have some sponsors here. Let's read them out for him so we can give them some shout out. Team Clyder has Pleasure Way Motorhomes, Ernest & Young, Building a Better Working World, Grain Millers. I'm going to say that's a T, so we're going to go Cortiva.
Yes.
AgriScience. And then VB Strategic Planning Solutions is the sponsors for Team Clyder. So thank you to those sponsors for sure. I know without those sponsors, these teams definitely wouldn't be out here in Banff playing. So make sure you get out and support people that are supporting curling. So thank you. Did we get any for Sturmey?
Not yet. Not yet. We'll hopefully get some from him.
We'll get some. There'll be a feature game some point this weekend for sure.
But,
we'll definitely get them out there. We'll make some announcements for their sponsors. I wonder if Sturmey has the motorhome with them this weekend. Might be a little cold out there for the motorhome, but when they came to Okotoks, they brought the motorhome.
It's a smart way to go.
Yep.
Did you let them park in the parking lot?
I did.
Nice.
We only had one complaint.
Why'd you complain, Mike?
I don't know.
What do you think? What do you like here in this shot? I mean, those yellows are lined up perfectly, but a miss by Clyder does give them some hope to make a play here. But
yeah, you almost got to play the run back and keep the shooter. I think you got to make a move on those rocks in the 4-foot. We're getting too late in the end here. But you can't roll out here. Can't hit it high side. Just hit and roll for a corner. Maybe pick off the one in the back on the top of the 4-foot. I see the boys out there working hard to get the ice ready for the next draw already. I got to say, it's nice I can sit back and watch that here.
well, yeah.
I don't have to run out there and scrape ice.
No, you can watch the others. They're out there already doing it, getting 4 ready. And well, lots of time talking here. I guess, we don't really have timeouts and there's no clocks, but we did leave a lot of time between the games just to make sure that that we gave the ice makers enough time to get ready, and the players, because in some cases they're playing back-to-back, so you want to give them a bit of a breather.
It's funny. One thing I notice you have here, Steve, is you have the old hacks that are permanently in the ice. You don't see that a lot anymore at clubs.
Yours are the removable ones with the pegs that go in the ground?
Nicer for maintenance-wise. You can pull them out and scrape around the back of them. But
did you ever notice, did you ever have, happen where someone kicks off hard and the hack kicks off
yes,
too?
I have seen it for sure, 100%. It's not really the guy that kicks off hard. It's the one that drags their toe in the hack. That's usually what they're bringing. They're dragging their toe and pulling it with them. Well, they played the run back. Little unlucky, though. That yellow spilled to sit. Second shot.
But it may be available to make the double on the next shot there.
Yeah, it
and
might
get at
be
the
there.
one in the center.
It's thin, but it is there for sure.
Did you just draw one around right on top? Yeah, right on there. Stay on the offensive rather than try and potentially make it so you give them an in.
That'd be ideal if you get it right in there, but it might make the double easier. You might bring 3 into play if you do that, because then they play the double into it and sit there. I don't know. If you could have access to that yellow, you might consider running that yellow into the blue. It's always funny. You're sitting 2, you're up 2, and you're taking 10 minutes to have a conversation because you're terrified. Welcome to the 5 Rock rule in curling. Amazing.
Yeah, it'd be great to have ears on the conversation, I'm sure. But I got you here, Mike, so I almost don't need ears because you know what it's about. You know what to do here. Well, again,
Yeah, it's well, they've got Steve Laycock out there, and he's played in everything. I mean, he's one of the smartest skips I used to remember watching. Analyzes it to death, so he'll help them figure it out here. I think in this situation, this is why you bring a guy like him to the team.
yeah. Well, it's exactly what you said about Mickey and that young team. This is a young team too. Don't look young, but they're a young team.
Yeah.
And they've got some great curling skills.
Everybody's young compared to you and I, Steve.
That's true. That's true.
We're happy Mickey's playing, make us look young.
But he's playing.
Yeah.
I saw him warming up. I think he almost touched his toes when he bent over there.
I almost thought I was going to have to play. Yeah, it was close. I thought I was going to have to pull the shoes out of retirement.
Then it wouldn't have just been interesting camera work, Mike.
Yeah, how do you commentate and play at the same time? Now that's interesting.
Well, we would have got your working microphone. It would have worked.
Well, I decided to come in here, so they're going to try and bury one in the full 8.
I do like this shot.
They think it's heavy here.
It's heavy.
It doesn't look light. So this is 13-6. This should at least get to the tee line.
A little deeper than they wanted to. You're right. They've got that yellow into a pocket now.
I think they play the double off the yellow and sit there now. I think that's I think you have to play it. You're never going to get this back blue into play if you don't make a move off that yellow. I'm thinking the double off the one on the 8-foot. Sit right in front. 3's in play.
You called it.
I think that's your shot.
Yeah, they talked about the run back. I don't think you want to do that.
It's too late.
You got to stick around. You need some rocks in the house.
That's why I didn't like that draw into the button. I think that makes this shot easier.
Well, it does now. You're right.
Right.
I mean, it gives quite a pocket. You can.
Before it was real thin. Now it's still thin now, but before it was real thin. I think that's what they decided. They're going to play this little double. You don't have to play this hard. You just got to kick it outside the 8-foot.
Yeah.
It's about a quarter of a rock to an 1/8. I like this call, Steve. You make it, 3's in play for sure.
Oh yeah, it's. And you still got that blue up there on the outside you can play into off of too.
That's right.
So
Sturmey will go hard here for their 3 because they know the percentages go down quite a bit going to an extra tide. So they're going to an extra end. So they'll try and get their 3 here, but if they make this, it brings 3 into play.
what is there? 2 rocks each left afterwards.
Yeah. They're close here. They're going hard. Oh. Just hit it a little thick and caught the blue on the way by. That's too bad. That was real close.
Would have made it interesting for sure. Clyder still has to be careful with this too, right? He's got to get to the inside.
Yeah, and it still might be partially buried. I can't tell from the angle I have here.
I can. It's wide open, Mike.
It's wide open?
It's wide open. Can't you tell?
No, I can't. Okay, we'll say it's wide open. So they'll play a little hit and roll in behind here, and then I don't know what Sturmey will do. They'll have to play the run back and stick it, I guess. So what do we get up to, 500-600 people watching, guys, or at some point?
At least.
At least. Yes.
At least.
I always multiply it by 10. That's the key.
Okay, then we
because
probably
they're all having parties of 10 at their house watching. So.
You know, for an afternoon when people are at work, it was good. Over 100 there.
That's
and
real good for a first draw of an event. It's only going to build as we go here, or we're going to lose everybody because they don't want to listen to us.
Wow. Well, we're going to get the Mike's working for the players for the next game.
Then we won't have to talk as much. Oh, he's got a nice one here. Nice throw.
Little inside roll.
Beautiful shot.
Great now he's going to have to do the run
on
back.
that.
Yep.
Looks like we had a final over on sheet 4. Van Amsterdam won there and moves on to play. Good, congratulations. You got to play Kevin Cooey tonight.
Yeah. Yay, I win.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Well, and the losers now are waiting for the losers tonight. So you don't move further forward if you can't win tonight as well, but you get an extra game. They're all going to be tough games tonight, but they will have the opportunity to play the game this afternoon and get some rocks run out, build some confidence, and get used to the speed and the swing. So the sheet's fairly consistent, it looks like, Mike.
yeah, Mickey said the ice was excellent. It was lots of curl, good speed, great finish. Time pretty much stayed where it should have the whole game, so he was real happy with it.
Well, that's high praise from a veteran like that.
He's seen it all, that's for sure.
Well, the ice looks sparkly under the lights, Mike. Does that mean it's good?
Out there. Well, it's nice to see a reflection sometimes, but it's a little scary. But it looks beautiful right now, that's for sure. There's not a bit of frost out there, that's for sure.
Well, they're going to draw. They're drawing down to the back one. Trying to throw the perfect draw in there.
Oh, that was close. Just a little heavy. And unfortunately bounced out, and I'm going to assume is open.
Yeah, it's open, Mike. I can
Thanks,
tell from
Steve.
here.
Thanks for helping me out here. They're helping me out finally.
I think you're going to see a little more weight here, and he just needs to make it go away. There's nothing it can run into, so.
Yeah, as soon as he makes this go away, it'll be a final, but still got to throw all the shots. I love the fact these teams, even though they're young, they stick to their pre-shot routine. It's great for all these curlers that are watching at home. It just seems like a simple little open hit, but they throw it like it's a double run back.
I thought I'd be throwing more weight than that.
Yeah, me too.
They're going hard on it.
Line.
Let's see.
Oh,
They're by.
Yeah.
Well, they got to get by the one in the top four, though. Yep, great sweep there. They held it the whole way.
Well, there you go. Winner, Team Clyder. Congratulations. You have to go play Mike McEwen now. Man, these are I don't know if it's winning. I don't know if it's winning when you win these games. Like, holy smokes. Look at the games. Cooey, Flash, McEwen, Epping in our next round.
There's no easy way to get to the finals.
I'm nervous just to have to call the game.
Well,
anyway.
Mike, I guess that'll bring us the end of this draw. I hate to take us off air. We got to save some voice, though, for the 8 o'clock game.
Yeah, I need a nap, Steve. That was a lot.
We'll get you some food. That won't put you to sleep, will it?
No, we're all good. That was awesome. Great game there. Congratulations again, Team Libbus, moving on to the next round. And great job, crew. You know, good job. Steve and I bugged you the whole time, but you did an excellent job.
You did too, my friend.
Superstar.
For anyone listening to us, we will be back just before 8 o'clock with the next game. Our next game will be Team Kevin Cooey playing a game Team Van Amsterdam. Team Van Amsterdam beating Team DS to earn that right. So have a great evening. We'll see everybody in just over 1 hour.
Good night.